Hey folks, Jimmy here, aka Pilot of the Dead. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. Now, as per usual with all these videos, if you like them, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and of course, drop a comment down below. It's great to hear your opinions. Now, without further ado, of course, not long ago, I did a video on the new Warhammer Imperium magazine that seems to be coming out, and yeah, my calculations were way off with how much you're going to save. You are going to save a pretty decent amount. Now, going through the updated list of the models that you're going to get, it works out that you are saving literally around about 35 to 45% if you are buying these models individually, and that's before you buy the paints. So it is actually more of a bargain than my first kind of calculations, which were done very late, worked out. So if you are looking to get into Warhammer 40k, definitely a good way of starting and getting going with it and everything like that. Not only will you collect a whole host of models, whether it's Space Marines, Necrons, Sisters of Battle, and of course the Adeptus Mechanicus, you're also going to get a handful of paints. These paints will keep you going, which is the main thing, and you'll get a couple of brushes out of it as well. So no doubt, just like with Mortal Realms magazine for instance, you will get, of course, standard starter brush. You might get another brush in between that, and possibly even a dry brush out of it, maybe. You will also, of course, get dice and game mats and scenery and stuff like that to keep you going. So you've got plenty to keep you going with a magazine, learn how to play, all that type of stuff. Pretty decent. If you do want to get into 40k, I'll recommend this if you haven't got the money to outlay in one go, or you don't want to kind of fully invest, and you want to just kind of dabble with it. This could be a very good way. You can pick up a couple of issues, see how you go with it. If you're enjoying it, start collecting the entire range. Now, with Imperium, it is going on to its trial starting tomorrow. Now, it will be available in only a small handful of places to begin with for the first possibly 4 weeks, and then it will disappear. Now, the reason it will disappear is so Hatchet Partworks have the time to collate information, run surveys, and possibly even do a couple of other bits and pieces. What they will tend to do is they will gather all their data, pool it all, see what they need to kind of run in each area to see how much they're going to need to produce a magazine, how many models Games Workshop are going to have to provide for them, paints, everything like that. So pretty handy, but for some people who are obviously going to be dying to get hands on the collection, it is going to be a little bit frustrating. But this is what they did with Mortal Realms, and they also did it with Conquest as well. So there will be a few weeks gap where there is not a lot going on, and it'll just be a case of waiting and seeing. Now, my personal opinion on the magazine is it should be a decent magazine. I'm not a 40k kind of person. I do respect 40k, and I do really enjoy some of the models. Some of the models are fantastic. Some of them are a little bit ropey. Now, I personally will probably not be collecting this magazine just due to cost. I don't have the extra cash to put into it. Mortal Realms takes my time. I am very much more comfortable with Age of Sigmar than I am 40k for some weird reason, but I will collect as what I can from the magazine. If by any chance I suddenly go into a bit of extra cash and I know I can afford the magazine and can afford to pay £70 per month collecting both Mortal Realms and Imperium, then I will. But at the moment, it's not happening, I'm afraid. So if anybody was hoping for that type of content, unless something changes in the drastic future, I'm really sorry, but I will not be able to provide that kind of content for you. There are another great bunch of YouTubers out there who will be able to do that though. But as I say, if things change, I will let you guys know. Now, today, now we're about 5 minutes into a video, I would like to go through what we're going to have a look at, which is of course the contents of the first 4 issues. So, issue number 1, which should be in the trial stores as of the 10th of March, which is tomorrow, should be coming with 1 Royal Warden and 1 Primaris Lieutenant, along with 6 dice and 1 plastic range ruler. Now, this will give you an introduction into the Space Marines and the Necrons themselves, and it will also give you a very, very basic learning of to play the very first game with these 2 models. Now, the 2 models are actually pretty decent. The Royal Warden, I do like the look of it. It's not a bad little model, considering the Necrons aren't really my favourite and I don't really enjoy them. The Primaris Lieutenant is probably one of the best looking Space Marine models that you can get, in my personal opinion. People may disagree with me on that, but I think it is one of the nicer models. I mean, it's a very, very nice model, and if I can get a hold of this, I will be happy to paint that up and kind of try and do something different with it. I don't know what chapter that I'd like to paint though, in all honesty. So that's what you're going to get with the first issue. So it's not a bad issue. However, from what the value of the magazine is, considering these models are available in a lot of starter boxes and stuff like that, your saving would on average be round about up to about £2. It's not a huge saving, but for £3 it's not a bad start. Now, progressing on to issue 2, you will be getting 3 Necron Warriors, which aren't too bad. You will also get a paintbrush, and you will also get some Rune Lord brass, which is actually a pretty good paint. It's one of the newer paints, as they released that kind of Rune Lord brass with the new Necrons last year. So this will come very, very good. The saving again is another one where it's a little bit of an odd one to put a value to, as you are able to get the Necron Warriors with paints from Games Workshop, so it's very, very hit and miss. So you have got probably a little bit of saving, but not a huge saving, in all honesty. But it is a very, very good way of starting to build up the Necron force, which is pretty good. Now, moving on to issue number 3, you're going to get some more Space Marines, and you're going to get 3 Assault Intercessors and a pot of MacLeod Blue. Pretty good, in all honesty. I mean, I'm not a Space Marines person. I don't mind Space Marines. These Space Marines are better posed than old Space Marines when I first bought any, which were just, normal ones that stand there with a gun in their hands, and that was it. These look like they're a little bit more posed. They are very, very nice, and yeah, they're definitely better. But they are just your normal bog standard Space Marine, so there's not a lot going on with it. You will learn how to play, kind of use close combat quarters within the game and stuff like that as well. And this will be the first issue that is also £9, just so you know. So it's not too bad. And lastly, issue number 4 will come with 3 Scorpeth destroyers and 1 Canoptech Plasmacite, and you will also get Lead Belcher with this as well, so a little part of that. This is actually the first one where you actually get a real good saving out of it. So Scorpeth destroyers are pretty cool looking buggers. Even I will say that, and I don't like the look of all the Necrons, but these are pretty cool looking. They look pretty deadly, which are your main kind of melee Necrons with bladed weapons and stuff like that. They look really cool, especially the way that the Games Workshop team paint them is very, very nice. And of course you get the Plasmacite as well, which is pretty cool. And you're also going to get a pot of Lead Belcher, which is very, very handy no matter whether you're painting 40k or if you're painting Age of Sigmar or anything like that. Very, very handy metallic paint. That's it. So we know what's coming for the first 4 issues. So this will take us into around about a month's time, and we will see what's going to happen with it. We should find out more details, I would imagine, once the trial has finished. Who knows what we're going to do with it. I believe they probably will roll it out. I don't know whether it's going to be quite limited and quite hard to get hold of, or what's going to go on with it, but some very, very good stuff coming to it. As I say, I will update when I can get a copy of the magazine. I will also do an update video when we get an actual proper release date for the full range, or anything like that, whenever that could be, and we'll see what's going on with the trial, and any information we can get out of Hatchet Partworks will be greatly appreciated, but we will have to see what's happening there. As I said earlier on though, if by any chance I can afford to get the magazine, I will pick up the magazine and collect it as well, but I do not know if I can afford to, so far anyway. We will see. Who knows? Hopefully. So, right, I've kept you all long enough. Thank you for dropping by. Again, 2 videos in one day is a rare occasion. So, if you haven't checked out the video from earlier, it's all about Warhammer Quest. Give it a watch, give it a thumbs up, do what you want, all your choice, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye now.